And catching these tiny fish happens after dusk, when they are attracted to the surface of the water by moonlight.
Buonasera, come va ragazzi?
So, as night falls, I hop on board fisherman Domenico's boat for an evening under the stars. Domenico uses modern sonar technology to track the anchovies, and then relies on a centuries-old way of fishing to land a catch.
So the small boat goes in and they're gonna put the light into the water to attract the anchovy.
These fishermen have a window of just 4 months between March and July when these waters are rich in anchovies. In one trip, they can haul up to 2,000 kilos of anchovies, which can net them up to 6,500 pounds.
So they got the 2 little boat with the lights shining into the water so the anchovies gets all excited. The net goes underneath, and with a little bit of luck, we're gonna pick them up. I really hope so.
Domenico's nets are dropped to depths of 100 meters, and the crew then use their years of expertise to decide when to haul the nets back up. Simple.
I can see anchovies, I can see anchovies. Chiudiamola però, così non si vede.
One successful catch.
We got anchovies!
And for these fishermen, the night is only just beginning. But for me, well, my job is to make sure this catch goes to the Anchovy Oil factory in Chetara in the morning. After a good night's sleep, I'm clocking in with oil producer Gino.
Gino, il processo in effetti è molto semplice.
His anchovy oil is still made using a 1,000-year-old recipe. The anchovies are cleaned by hand and placed in wooden barrels within layers of salt.
They put stones on top. The weight allows the water and the oil to separate from the anchovies, and this process takes 18 months. A little bit like wine. You just need to be patient, take your time, and eventually the flavor comes together.
Voilà.
I can see already some dripping.
Ok.
Pronto?
Sì.
Vai.
Fantastic. Now you... Gino, devi provare. Una goccia.
So literally, he lets me try one drop. Not a teaspoon or anything, just one drop. Pronti?
Yes. Mamma mia.
Può.
Posso dirlo in dialetto? Adore mare, mocca a te.
Okay. You know, in a Neapolitan dialect, he told me exactly what I was feeling. Is slightly salty but yet sweet. This is unique.
Ok, please. Soprattutto.
Salute.
Chin.
Salute.
Yum, yum, yum. And with the sweet and salty anchovy dripping in hand, it's back to Chetara's beautiful harbor to create a dish that's a perfect starter, my twist on the classic Italian bruschetta.
I'm going to use all local ingredients. I mean, my Amalfi lemons, then I'm going to use anchovies from Chetara, and the tuna from the sea behind me. I'm going to prepare a tuna tartar with anchovy dripping. Now, what we need to do, you get some nice plum tomato. I'm using San Marzano tomato, but make sure if you can find the San Marzano that they plum. Don't use the round one because they're too watery.
Remove the pulp from the tomatoes, dice and place into a large bowl. For a little kick, I'm adding finely chopped red chilies. Then chopped spring onions, pitted black olives, and capers. To balance the flavors, I'm adding some roughly chopped flat leaf parsley.
My next ingredient, a typical Chetara ingredient, anchovies in olive oil. Don't chop them too fine because I want a little bit of texture. That's it, straight in. For my star ingredients, fresh tuna. I'm using the loin part of the tuna, but look at this. A little bit of fat going on, nice and sliced. This one, just roughly chop. If you cut them too much, they're gonna be all pulpy, the textures are gonna be good. Here, they're going to explode into your mouth. Now, like any Italian dressing, we keep it very simple. So, extra virgin goes in, like that. Then we're gonna put the zest of a lemon. Fantastic. That's done. And straight away, the juice of half lemon.
Don't be put off by the thoughts of eating raw fish. For me, this is the best way to try fresh tuna.
Now, I don't know if you realize, but I haven't put any salt in the tuna tartare because remember, the anchovies are gonna be salty, the capers are salty, the olives are salty. No salt, just keep mixing and serve it straight away.
Serve in chicory leaves, pile them with the tartare, and then arrange on a plate.
Nice. And if you want to do a nice bruschetta for your aperitivo, the only thing you have to do, get a bit of ciabatta. Grab a little bit of olive oil on the griddle pan so it's going to be nice and crispy. But my tip is this, get a garlic clove, peel it, and gently rub it on the bread. This is going to give you an extra kick. Pile the tuna tartare on top. Now for my secret ingredient, just before you serve it, anchovy dripping. That's it. And I'm gonna serve this one with white wine called Furore Bianco from the Amalfi coast. Fruity and floral, which is gonna complement the tuna. Fantastico.
From sea to plate, this superb starter sums up the spectacular simplicity of Amalfi Coast cuisine. Salute! The spectacular ruins of the ancient city of Paestum. Originally a Greek colony called Poseidonia, by the 3rd century BC, it had become an important Roman trading post, and still standing proudly are these 3 beautifully preserved temples.
I used to come to Paestum when I was a little boy. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really appreciate all the history of my ancestors like I'm doing right now. This is just incredible.
To find out a little more about these incredible ruins, I'm meeting local expert Nicola.
You know, when people they come in the south of Italy and they want to see this kind of ruins, they usually go to Herculaneum or Pompeii. And I'm just asking Nicola, why Paestum is different? And he said to me, you know, gee, people they come here to see something that is even older than Pompeii and Herculaneum.
Tutto il Mediterraneo arrivava qui in Paestum.
So from the sea, they used to get pretty much all their ingredients. Spices, extra virgin olive oil, wines. How cool is this? Right here, we are where the market used to be. I mean, they call it forum, but really it was a market. So all this cavity that you see is like having all little shops one after the other, like a big Camden Town market, I guess.
And if I were shopping at this ancient market, the one thing I would buy is Paestum's star ingredient, Buffalo Mozzarella. And what better place to showcase it than here?
I'm right in the middle of Paestum ruins, and I'm going to cook something that is very easy, very colorful, great for vegetarians, great for starters, great for main course. This is the ultimate minimum effort, maximum satisfaction dish. So it's aubergine stack with buffalo mozzarella, roasted peppers with infused oil. And right here is where we start.
Chop 1 aubergine into around 1 centimeter slices and then season with salt.
Okay, make sure you put olive oil in a frying pan and the oil must be hot. If the oil is not hot, the aubergine will suck up all the oil and they're gonna be disgusting.
Once the oil is hot, place all of the slices in and fry until both sides are golden brown.
Okay, so time now to make the infused oil. So what I go, I got some flat leaf parsley. You could use basil or a little bit of fresh mint. I got some fresh mint. I'm gonna add a couple of mint leaves. That's the beauty about Italian cooking. You can add and take away whatever you want, whatever you fancy. Straight into the bowl.
Then add 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika.
So that goes in there.
Add half teaspoon of salt.
Then I got some walnuts. You just crush it and it goes straight into the bowl.
You can chop the pieces if you prefer.
Walnuts is gonna give a nice crunchy texture. In there now, extra virgin olive oil. Pour it and stir it at the same time.
Do not scrape when it comes to the oil.
And the job is done. Just let it rest. This should be ready now. Oh yes, perfect. Now let me tell you something about aubergines. Whenever I talk to people about aubergines, they always say, oh, they're yucky, they're rubbery. Aubergines are perfect when you cook them well. They're soft and absolutely delicious. So give aubergine a chance, trust me. Let them rest on a plate. It's the time to cut the buffalo mozzarella. What you want to see is the milk coming out. So look at this. As I'm slicing, look at that. Look how you squeeze and the milk is coming out. Look at that. Incredible. It's like all the milk is covering my chopping boards. This is real fresh buffalo mozzarella. Put it back on your plates. The end bits, which is the best part of the mozzarella. This is the chef's perk.
Then, using a vegetable peeler, slice some parmesan.
That's it. That's more than enough. Let's put the stack together. First thing, we're gonna pour a slice of aubergine on the bottom, like that. On top of the aubergine, we're gonna pour a little bit of shaved parmesan. Then we got some roasted peppers, okay? So the pepper. Then you get your mozzarella. So 2 little slices of mozzarella. And then we're just gonna put a little bit of the dressing. Just like that. Now we have to repeat all over again. Roasted peppers. Then a few more slices of mozzarella on top.
And to really enhance the flavors,
Okay, now the last touch I'm gonna put, I got a little bit of balsamic glaze. Just all around. This is gonna give a nice sweetness to the dish and it's gonna balance really well with the smoked paprika. Did I not say to you that this is gonna look amazing? Look at that.
the question that people always ask me is, Gino, what can I prepare something romantic? And the answer is right here. I'm going to show you how to prepare a spaghetti vongole with clams and mussels. We put everything on a big platter so you can play the Lady and the Tramp thing, you can feed each other. And where do we start? Is right here. Clams and mussels. Now, you need to make sure that you clean them when you get at home. And the way to do it is very simple. Clams, you just scrape them. The mussels, usually they got a little beard here. You just take it out, and to see if there is any sand in them, you're gonna have to pick them up. You can do it in your sink, or you can do in a tray like this one, and that's it, bash them down. What's gonna happen if there is sand in the clams or the mussels, that we open it straight away and the sand will come out. I often see people making the mistake to take the clams and the mussels and put them in tap water. That is wrong. Tap water is sweet. Mussels and clams are used to salty water and they will die straight away. So these are ready. Next job is to prepare a simple sauce with just 3 ingredients. And the trick is this: cold pan, garlic and chili already in there, olive oil goes in. Now, only at this point, the heat comes on. Once you start to see the garlic sizzle, add in your mussels and clams. Then just add salt, some roughly chopped flat leaf parsley, and mild white wine.
So put a splash in it.
Stir, bring to the boil, then cover with a lid and let the steam work its magic for 5 to 7 minutes. Next, I want my sweet yellow pomodorino tomatoes.
Now these tomatoes here are going to give a nice flavor.
Italians have many different ways of making vongole, so if you can get yellow cherry tomatoes, don't worry, red ones works just as well.
Stir all together, couple of minutes, and the sauce is done.
Simply add some spaghetti cooked al dente, and for my final tip, soak the pasta in the sauce for 1 minute before serving.
Beautiful! Now, the way to do this is to pour everything on a large plate. Remember, this is for 2 people. Now, we definitely have the tramp. I'm gonna have to find myself a lady.
Spaghetti vongole with fresh local seafood from Naples Bay and tomatoes from the feet of Vesuvius. This is a dish that is fit for royalty and is a fitting way to end my journey in the Bay of Naples. Salute! My next stop, 120 miles south, is the extraordinary town of Polignano a Mare. This shining gem sits on limestone cliffs above glittering waters, and I'd say is one of the most famous spots on this coast.
Now, this place 20 years ago was almost derelict. Now, it's one of the most beautiful towns on the Adriatic coast.
Once a poor agricultural region, tourism has changed its fortunes. Now its enchanting narrow streets, rustic charm and incredible views draw over 85,000 visitors each year.
What is incredible about this town that it's actually been built on the caves, and I've never seen that before.
Polignano a Mare means to be at sea, and this town literally looks like it's floating almost 30 meters above the sea caves.
Ice cream time! Ciao bello, tutto a posto?
Certo.
Allora, ascolta, un bel gelato.
Polignano's Gelateria regularly win the most prestigious ice cream competitions in Italy.
Impossible to come around here and not having an ice cream. And my favorite flavor, nocciola, which is hazelnuts. I like stracciatella. And panna, which is whipped cream on top. Bello.
Prego.
Grazie, grazie.
This town is also celebrated as the birthplace of the father of Italian singers.
If you come to Polignano, you're gonna have to meet my friend, Domenico Modugno.
In 1958, he wrote and sang what is perhaps Italy's most famous song, Volare. But it's not a singer, caves or ice cream that brings the really big crowds here.
This is the oldest house in town. Doesn't really look anything special from the outside, but apparently something special going on inside. Antonio?
Ciao Gino.
Buongiorno.
Come
Posso?
stai? Vieni, accomodati, accomodati. Vieni Gino, vieni. Qui stiamo entrando nella parte...
Antonio grew up here with his parents and grandparents.
So this house is over 1,000 years old. It used to be a tower, so in the old days they can look out for pirates or anyone who wants to invade the town.
But I've seen Roman defense towers before, and it's not the age of this house that makes it so special.
Wow! Huh? Che vista! Now this is a view.
Polignano's unique position so far above the sea has made the town a magnet for cliff divers. Adrenaline junkies jump from the balconies and cliff tops into the waters below, including Antonio's father and his friend, Volare composer Domenico Modugno.
Antonio was saying that his dad and Domenico Modugno, they used to come here when they used to be young boys and jump from the cliffs. And he believes the inspiration of writing Volare, Volare in English means flying, it comes from the fact that they used to see these crazy people flying from the cliff straight into the sea. And that's how the song came about. There you go.
And 3 years ago, this little house became host to the biggest cliff diving competition in the world. Each September, huge crowds gather to watch elite divers compete for the world title, leaping from platforms 27 meters high, built from Antonio's balconies. And to get to the platforms, the divers actually walk through Antonio's home.
Where we are at the moment is about 15 meters of height, but this is the lowest part of the house because you then can go all the way to the top, which is over 25 meters, where these crazy guys, they jump in the sea for over 25 meters. I mean, I wouldn't do that. I would definitely not do that.
I'm definitely not ready for that height, but maybe I could give the lower 11-meter cliff a go on the other side of the cove.
I'm gonna take the opportunity to say thank you to everybody. Hopefully, I'm going to see you very soon. If not, it's been a pleasure. I don't want to do it. Fantastic!
Now I worked up an appetite, I'm going to create my version of stracotto, a local one-pot lamb stew.
But not just the average lamb stew. My lamb stew has got celery, it's got black olives, orange zest, honey, fresh thymes, caramelized onion, red wine. It's got everything to make this the best stew ever. Now, the first thing we're gonna have to look after is the onions.
Slowly caramelize finely sliced red onion.
Now, once they start to caramelize like this, which they look amazing and it smells divine, let's talk about the lamb. You can use Lego lamb, you can use neck of lamb. You cannot use filet of lamb or any part of the lamb that is too tender. Size, look, big chunks, straight away inside with the onions. So you probably want to do this for a good 5 minutes before you start to add any other ingredients. So, as the lamb is cooking, celery. I love when I buy celery with the leaves. Often people, they throw away the leaves. I'm gonna use this at the end just to give an extra kick. Big chunks, okay? So, like that. Celery goes in. Then I'm gonna start to use thyme and bay leaf. Now, let me tell you something about bay leaf. This is a quite tough herb. What you want to do is this, look, in your hands, and bruise it. So you want it to really squish it. And the smell and the flavor is all gonna be released in there. So bay leaves goes in, thyme, just shake it, like that. Then orange zest. The flavor of the orange with the lamb, it just works beautifully. Let's start with the zest first. Don't throw away the orange because we're gonna use the juice of the orange as well later on. make sure that, see all these zests in the back of your grater, just straight in there. Now, olives. Please make sure that they're pitted because someone will break their teeth. Now, once everything is in, honey. Honey and lamb, you can never go wrong, trust me. Guys, I wish you could smell this. Okay, now it's time to add the one. The one that I've chose for this recipe is called Tormaresca. Now, this is a local wine from Puglia, from the region of Puglia. It's got a quite spicy flavor to it. Okay, there is a rule when you cook with wine or any other alcohol. Make sure that the first liquid that you add into your food is always the alcohol. Because as it goes in, okay, what you can see very clearly, it starts to bubble away, and it tells me that the alcohol is evaporating, but the flavor stays in the pots.
Next, add tinned tomatoes, squeeze in the orange juice, stir, cover, and simmer for half an hour.
Funny thing is that people around Polignano, they tend to eat more meat than fish, which is quite strange, being on the Adriatic coast. But because of the rocky relief, in the old days, it was very difficult for fishing boats to come to the coast, so they kind of tended to have more meat than fish. Still looking good. Okay. Now, remember it takes an hour and a half to cook my lamb stew. So we do the first half an hour without the potato, and now is the time to add in the potatoes. Make sure you use a waxy potato. I don't want a floury potato because a floury potato is gonna break into the stew. I want a potato that can take another hour of cooking. So straight in there.
After another hour of bubbling away, it's time for my final ingredients. First, add peas. Frozen or fresh will work.
Then, do you remember the leaves from the celery? Just roughly chop them, a good handful. And this is gonna give color and flavors. Stir all together. Another 15 minutes, the job is done.
While the stew simmers, rub raw garlic on toasted bread to accompany.
So, nice rustic plates. Let's see. Look at that. Little garlic bread. Everything you need in life, right here, in one bowl.